Hey guys, my name is Brandon Andre and I'm a fashion photographer here in LA. I know that I told most of you guys that I'll be making a video on how to model, how to go about the industry, so hopefully this video is useful for you guys so you guys can see a step-by-step guideline as to how to not only pursue this industry but to know whether or not this industry is for you guys. So step one is the filter process. I call it the filter process because a lot of people tend to skip this process and go to step two, which doesn't really make sense to me, so I want you guys to kind of understand that you shouldn't really go beyond this if you guys don't check everything off. Number one is being realistic. Is this industry really for you? A lot of people want to be models. A lot of people want to do like really great things that maybe they're not meant to do. Do you meet the standards? Do you have the personality for it? Do you have the looks for it? This is an image-based industry, and if you don't have the looks, you're not gonna make it. And that's as simple and as blatant as it is. And I'd rather save you guys the trouble of going through all of that, heartbreak and failure or rejection that you might encounter if you continue pursuing it and it's not for you. So be realistic. Right, number two is the standards. Now the standards is usually the part where people either have it or they don't, and this is the part where it gets really tricky for a lot of people to figure out whether or not they should do it. As far as models for women, this is what they particularly look for in LA. As far as height, minimum usually is 5'8". For commercial, they're usually more flexible with that. High fashion in New York, the minimum is 5'8" as well, or 5'9". They usually want you guys tall, skinny, and when I say skinny, I don't want you guys getting the impression that it's an unhealthy skinny, even though it may look like it's an unhealthy skinny. I usually encourage people to, eat healthy, eat right. As a model, like I said, it's all about image, so you really have to watch your body. As a model, you are fitting into sample sizes of designers, which are usually really small. They're not going to customize their clothes for you. You're going to have to customize your body for them, and that is what it is. I want to, advocate that there's a way to do that without having to be anorexic or having an eating disorder. You can just eat healthy, and you can just exercise, and you can just manage your weight. But if you can't handle that, then that's one of the things you have to make sure that you know about yourself beforehand. Because can you handle someone telling you, hey, you're too fat and you need to lose weight? Because I can guarantee you, if you are, your agencies are going to tell you that. They really want you guys young unless, you have the ability to work for a very long time, but usually a model's career ends at 25. And your look is very important. You can either have a commercial look, or you can have a high fashion look, or you can have a mixture of both. Usually the agencies will determine that. You just basically try taking a chance and submitting yourself and see which ones you fall under. For guys, the minimum height requirement is generally 6 feet tall. Also, a lot of guys have this idea that, oh, I'm ripped, I can be a model. No, you cannot be a model if you're just ripped. Well, if you don't have the face, you don't have the face, so move on. You don't have to be ripped in order to be a model. Then also some models can be lean, cut, not huge, because you have to fit into these designers' clothes, and it works for them. Which gets into my second point about having the right look. A lot of people, and it sucks, don't ask me why, might have the height and the body, but they don't have the face. Some people have the face and they don't have the body type. Some people have the body type and the face, but they don't have the height. It's really cutthroat. You have to have thick skin in order to be in this industry, just because it's all about your image, and it's nothing personal, but you have to remember that you are modeling for someone else. Another perception that people have of modeling is that, oh my gosh, I'm gonna be taking a photo shoot, I'm gonna be taking a bunch of pictures, it's gonna be about me, 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 me. No. You basically as a model are at the bottom of the hierarchy in the fashion industry. And the fashion industry hierarchy usually goes as such: designer, editor, art director, creative director, fashion editor, photographer, stylist, hair makeup, and model. Models are usually at the bottom until you make it to the top. It's all about how you can sell their clothes. Your face is just your face in order to sell these clothes. Alright, number 3 in this list is very, very important. It's self-confidence. Do you know who you are? A lot of people come into this industry being very self-conscious, maybe not in their modeling, but in their personality, and they get easily taken advantage of. And it's really sad because I see a lot of photographers, a lot of just people in the industry who will take advantage of you if they see that you're weak, basically. You'll go onto a set thinking it's one thing, and then all of a sudden the photographer is asking you to take off your underwear and take off your clothes, and then you're in a position where you're like, what do I do? This is really awkward, this is really uncomfortable, but I have to do it because if I want to make an industry, I gotta make sure that I make the photographer happy, I gotta make sure that I do this. And then you have all these people on the crew who are looking at you, waiting for you to basically get naked. And then you're in an awkward position, you're just like, what do I do? Honestly, like, you guys need to know who you are. You guys need to know your morals, know your values, know whether you're gonna compromise in order to be in this industry or not. knowing whether you're going to do nudity or you're not going to do nudity, and be able to be strong and secure when you are making those decisions. Because I hear time and time again, a lot of photographers will take advantage of models. For me, this point is really personal because I started in this industry when I was 17 years old, and I knew who I was when I started, and that's probably why I got to where I am now. But a lot of people always ask me, Brandon, like, you're 18 years old, oh my gosh, like, how did you get your stuff together? Well, I knew who I was, and I knew what I wasn't going to shoot, I knew what I was going to shoot, and I knew the type of photographer that I wanted to be, I knew the type of person that I was, and I knew how both of them were equally as important, and that I wasn't going to compromise just to make it in the industry, that I wanted to leave an impression rather than let people walk all over me and submit basically to corruption, essentially. And I'm not gonna say that doing nudity is horrible or people who have done nudity is like the worst of the worst. You just have to know ahead of time whether or not that's something that you want to do. It's important for you to know who you are, because if you don't, you're going to have people making all of these decisions for you, and you're not going to know who you are at the end of the day, and it's going to be very psychologically traumatizing to have really bad experiences in this industry. So that's why I encourage you guys, even aside from modeling, to know who you are. You are going to be rejected, people are going to ridicule your image, people are going to tear you down, there are going to be obstacles, especially in New York, especially if you want to be a high fashion model. There's a lot of competition in New York, and if you don't know who you are, then you will be destroyed, and I don't want that for you. I want you guys to make sure that you guys figure yourselves out beforehand. Alright, so the fourth thing that I have here is personality, and this is really important too, because as a model you need to be able to work well with everybody on the team, and not only that, your personality reflects in how you are on set and how you photograph. Make sure that as a model you're professional when you need to be professional, and you're cool when you need to be cool. In this world, and even in this industry, people will like you and remember you if you're a humble, nice person. You can be funny and you can be cool and you can be a jokester, but be humble and know when to be professional, know when to be serious. That's what maturity is all about. That was something that I had to learn when I was 17, and when I was 18, and when I was 19, and when I was 18 years old and I was shooting, people thought that I was 25 years old because I had such a professional front. As a model, you don't want to be this robotic, like, alright, I am so and so and I'm this big professional person. Be who you are, but know when to be professional and know when to have a good time. Don't hide that from anybody. Make sure you know how to be who you are, make the right decisions, so that when you meet people, when you approach different agencies, when you approach different clients, because you're going to be going to a lot of castings and you have to make sure that your personality stands out. People need to be able to remember you, and how are they going to do that if you are shy or inhibited or weird? And that's just the most important thing, is to be able to leave an impression. Alright, so I have here step 5, which is type of model. Are you a commercial model, are you an editorial model, or are you both? Editorial tend to usually, you guys, those models are usually weird looking. Not that they're ugly, it's not that they're extremely gorgeous, but they have a very unique look about them that they tend to photograph really, really well. Commercial tends to be the type of modeling where you're representing your everyday person, so generally you do have to have a good smile, you have to convey naturally beautiful in the pictures. If you can do that, then you fall under commercial. Alright, so now I'm going to go into step 2, which I call portfolio. If you've passed the filter process, then definitely now it's time for you to build your portfolio, and this is crucial as a model. Alright, so the first thing you should do is find a photographer, and this can be the part where it gets a little expensive because you're hiring a photographer to do a photo shoot of you. I do want to give you the most advice for this part, because a lot of people tend to get really influenced by TV shows that are about modeling. They get very inspired to do specific types of photo shoots where it involves a lot of hair and makeup and weird poses that nobody cares about. Finding photographers, you can easily Google them. You can find them via social media. There's a lot of modeling websites that are out there that a lot of photographers and models and people from the industry go to interact and find each other so that they can help each other build their portfolios. Usually when you hire a photographer, which I definitely recommend, you know what you're getting and you know that they're going to be professional about it. Or you can just hire me. So when you're putting together your portfolio, one of the big things that I look for as a photographer when I'm scouting and when agencies are looking for models, less is more. A lot of models, when they start out, they tend to do these high fashion shoots where they're wearing a lot of makeup and big hair and really, like, I don't understand. I know why, actually, because there's a show that's out there that does this a lot. That's not what these agencies are looking for. They're looking for people who are raw, natural. When you approach these agencies with your portfolios, they want to know that they can develop you into something greater. Therefore, when you are putting together your portfolio, take very, very natural pictures. Very minimal makeup, very minimal hair. Like, don't go all out with hair. Like, there's no need. Like, honestly, when you have those pictures and you go to an agency and let's say that you get it signed, they're gonna scrap all those images anyway. That's not even that pretty. Like, it just looks weird. Sometimes it's as easy as just, you know, getting a camera and standing next to a wall that has really good lighting and taking a picture of yourself and just learn how to move. All these weird poses that people do, it just looks retarded. I mean, that's what I used to shoot when I was starting out, and it looked weird, and now I just think that I was, you know, amateur, but whatever. Also, what helps is researching model agencies. So all these agencies have their models' portfolios online. Look through the portfolios and look what stuff that they have so that you have an understanding of what you need to put in your portfolio when you approach these agencies. Also, I think it's very, very, very important for you guys to learn how to move. You have to think of modeling as like you're acting. You're portraying a character in a story, and the photographer is just capturing a moment in that story. That's basically what it is. So as a model, learn how to be natural, learn how to be candid in your movement. Not candid as in haha smiling, but candid in your movement where you want the pictures to come out as if the photographer was catching something. That's what makes an image a lot more real, a lot more beautiful. So make sure you learn how to move. The best thing that I can recommend is pretend like someone is recording you while you're doing a photo shoot. Alright, step 3 is your open calls and your submissions. So this is the point where after you have step 1, the filter down, after you have step 2, your portfolio down, now you have the opportunity to start submitting yourself to modeling agencies. It's pretty straightforward and simple process. If you live in LA, then you can attend these open calls that every agency has, where you go into their office and you basically give them your portfolio and they decide on the spot whether or not they want you. Or if you live in New York, the same process is there. If you live anywhere other than the big cities, then you can always submit online. Usually get back to you if they're interested. A lot of these open calls, there's a lot of people all the time that come to them. You have to stand out, like I said before. So I don't want you guys to be fooled when you guys go to open calls at these modeling agencies. Usually, if they pull you aside and they want you, they usually will sign you on the spot, or they'll get in contact with you in the future. If I was an agency, I would sign the model on the spot if I was really, really interested in them. So if they don't sign you on the spot, if they pull you aside and they talk to you for a little while, and then you don't hear from them for a while, just continue working on your book. Maybe you just don't have a great portfolio. Personality isn't, you know, very exciting, so make sure you work on those things. Don't give up. Try different agencies. There's a lot in town, in LA and in New York, so if all of them are saying no, gotta move on. You really have to choose another dream. So sometimes if you have the filter process to sit down and you have your portfolio filled out, then you're gonna get signed. I hope that I hear a lot of stories from you guys that you followed all these instructions and that was the opportunity that came about with you guys. Another thing that might help is making a video about yourself and submitting it to agencies so that they know your personality, they know what you look like. A lot of agencies, when they sign new faces, they do digitals, which is basically natural shots of their models in a bikini and like a tank top, and some agencies will do a video of them like runway walking, so that's something that you can do ahead of time and submit to them. You want to make sure that you make it as easy as possible for these agencies to know who you are, to know what you look like when you photograph, and to know how you walk and what to expect from you, because that's how they know, oh, I want this person right now, because we can start making money off of them, we can develop them, we can get them where we need to get them. Keep in mind that these agencies are making money off of you. They make a percentage off of what they book you. So that is basically how you get paid and how they get paid. So once you get signed, you're going to be testing a lot with different photographers, and this is usually the part of modeling where you're being developed and your portfolio is growing. Alright, so I have some tips that you guys can use. One of the things that I recommend when you're photographing, do something with your hands that looks normal, justify it, and always be doing something with your hands, because trust me, that helps as a photographer and as a model. Know your angles and know what your best features are. Is it your jawline? Is it your eyes? Is it your forehead? Is it your profile? Is it throwing your head back? Like, be versatile. You know, guys, same. I mean, I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, so if you're a model, you should really know how to dress. Like, that's just the thing. Like, knowing how to do your hair, makeup, and dressing really nice, and having that confidence and good posture, I mean, that's really important. If you want to be a model, then you want people to know that you're a model by how you conduct yourself in person. Modeling is subjective as well, in the sense that there's a lot of models out there. I take a model seriously if they're signed with a big agency. If they've done a lot of print work, if they got published in magazines. There are various types of models. Don't get involved in certain lifestyles that are destructive. One of the things I want to encourage you guys is do not be afraid to walk out of a shoot. If you know that it's going to end up compromising who you are as a person to be there and to be working with those people or to do what they're asking you to do, then leave. Because honestly, this industry is not worth you compromising who you are, losing yourself, losing who you are in this world just for, you know, $50,000, okay, well, just for $50,000 or $20,000 or however. Like, money doesn't matter, the job doesn't matter, none of it matters. What matters is you as a person and your mentality. I don't want to see more people, more models in this industry, in this world, becoming more psychologically lost because they felt that they had to do what the photographer was asking them to do, or they felt like they had to go through the job because if they didn't, they wouldn't have made it. There are many ways to make it in this industry without having to do all of that. Alright you guys, thank you for watching this video. It was very detailed. I hope it helps you guys in your pathway to modeling. If you want to follow me on Twitter and Instagram and check out my website, the links will be below. I wish you all the best of luck. It's not the end of the world if you are not a model. But make sure you subscribe to my channel. So thank you guys and have a good day.